Okay, so we are going to go over on page 28, number 1, 2, and 3. So this has to do with sales tax, discounts, and, well, let's just look at number 1. Number 1, I bought a new computer. It cost $900, but I had to pay 7% sales tax. What was my total cost? Now, sales tax gets added on. So if a computer is marked $900, you're going to pay more than $900. How much more? 7% more. So 2 ways to approach this problem. One is to say, what is 107% of 900? Because you're not going to pay 900, you're going to pay more. How much more? 7% more. The other way to look at it is to just calculate what is 7% of 900 and then add that to the 900. So 2 different ways we learn to figure out 7% of 900. You can use a percent proportion. What is 7% of 900? So 900 is the whole. What is 7%? You solve this, you get x equals 63. Or you could say x equals 0.07 times 900, and you still get x equals 63. You then add the 63 to the 900, and your total cost is 963. Either of those methods would work, but you could also say what is 107% of 900, which would just be x equals 1.07 times 900, and you get 963 in one shot. Or you could say fraction bar equals fraction bar over 100. 100% is 900. What's 107%? And then you get 963. Now, the next question is related to number 1. It's saying, what if you first got a 15% discount on your computer? Then what would the total you have to pay be? Now, if you do get a 15% discount, we always figure out the discount first and find the sales tax on the discounted amount. So again, you can use percent equation or percent proportion, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to just show this using the percent equation for this particular one. So if I get a 15% discount, I could say, what is 15% of 900? And 15% of 900 is $135. So I take 900, I subtract 135, and 765 is my discounted price. Another way is I could say, well, if I get a 15% discount, I'm not really paying 100%. I'm really paying 85%. So what is 85% of 900? And that would be x equals 0.85 times 900. And then you get 765 in one step. So now my discounted cost is 765. And now I have to figure out what is 7% of 765. And you figure that out and you add it on. Or you say, what is 107% of 765? So if I calculate this, 7% of 765 is $53.55. If I add that to 765, I get 81855. Or I could say 1.07 times 765, and I get 81855 in one step. Now, there's a third way to do this that I think is the easiest, and it's definitely the shortest. I would say, okay, I have this $900 computer, but I'm only going to pay 85% of the total cost. But then after I pay 85% and figure out my discounted dollar discount, I have to pay 107% of that to pay for the taxes. Now, if you put that all into your into your calculator at once, you get 818.55, and that's the only work you have to show. So again, you can solve these any way that makes the most sense to you. Now, this next one is a tiny bit trickier because this one says, if I paid $900 in total, and that included my 7% sales tax, how much did I pay in sales tax? So some of you will say, well, that's easy. Just do 900 times 0.07 and you paid $63 in sales tax. But let's see if that works. If I do 900 minus 63, that's 837. And if I say 837 times 1.07, that should give me 900 if I was right. But that only gives me 895.59. And the reason is you can't take 7% of 900 because 900 is not the cost of the item. 900 is the cost of the item with the sales tax. So we don't know what the original cost is. But we do know that the original cost is 100% of the cost. And we know that 107% of the cost is 900. So if you set up this proportion, you will find out what the original cost is. Something else you could do is say, well, I start with the original cost and I add 7% of the original cost, and that will be 900. Or 1.07x equals 900, or x equals 900 divided by 1.07. And if I do 900 divided by 1.07, I get 841.12, which means I paid $58.88 in sales tax. Okay, so that's the end of this video, number 1, 2, and 3. I want everybody to try to do 4 and 5 on your own and then play the next video to see if you are correct.